Yo, welcome back, everybody. Once again, it's your boys, man, from A Puff a Minute, joining you for another Cigars and Conversation. As you already know, I'm your man, Cigar Mick.
It's CigarBanker. What's good, people?
Exactly, y'all. So let me break it down for y'all real quick, man, because I know we got a lot of new people, man, that's coming to the Puff a Minute that really don't understand what we're about. You know, there's plenty of cigar podcasts out there, man, and we take our hats off to everybody that's out here in the game doing what they do. You know, but what we do is a little differently, right? We focus on the conversations that people have in their lounges while they're smoking cigars, right? Because for us, the best part of cigar smoking is the conversations that you have while you're doing so, right? So we're going to get into that a little bit, man. But before we do, we always like to start off by telling y'all what we smoking. You know what I mean? So,
Yep.
Jay, why don't you hit them off, bro? Tell them what you got today.
Yeah, man. So, once again, Illusione on the table, man. But I got this nice Illusione Nicaraguan Puro. This is the Epernay. So, this is the 6x48, I think it is, or
Nice.
6x50. But definitely a good smoke, man. Another Nicaraguan Puro. This one's a little different because the blend and the aged tobacco in this one, versus some of the others like a CG4 or whatever. You know, the CG4 is a little bit not as aged as much as the Epernay,
Gotcha.
and the Epernay comes in different sizes and something like the CG4, which I like more than probably this one, but still a good one because it's a Nicaraguan Puro, and I like the Puros through and through.
That's funny,
Yeah.
man. We almost had one of those moments where we had the same cigar, because I promise you, I got that same stick right over there in my little travel humidor, man. So, yeah, that's cool. But I decided to do something a little different today, right? So I haven't smoked this before, but I'm familiar with the brand. I'm familiar with the brand owner, Pete Johnson, from Tatuaje. So they came out with this line called the Skinny Monsters. You know what I mean? Because, you know, I like my skinny sticks, bro.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? My Lanceros and all of that.
Full flavor.
Full flavored, exactly.
Yeah.
So this one right here is actually the Jason with the red label. It's the Jason. Connecticut broadleaf, I believe, on the wrapper, man, and it's Nicaraguan through and through on the the binder and the filler. Very, very nice smoke, man. Got a little pepper to it, but also got that nice little velvety, chocolatey feel to it as well. So this is one of them sticks, man, that it's my first time, man, but like I said, I just lit it. I'm already enjoying it.
And it's funny because you say that people assume when you say Connecticut, right? Connecticut broadleaf, it's like, oh, it should be a lighter colored cigar. But you look at the dark veininess in that wrapper, and it may not be as typical what people say when they think about a Connecticut.
Exactly right. Good point, man. Good point. So, Jay, I was riding over today thinking about what we can kind of chop it up about.
Yeah.
The other part that y'all should know, all right, when it comes to our cigars and conversation, just like when you're in the lounge and you guys start having conversations and stuff, it's 100% unscripted, right? We may have an ideal or something that we want to talk about, but we never know what we're going to say until we sit down and turn the cameras on. You know what I'm saying? So we're working without a net, y'all. You know, so especially for you guys that are on the live, because we can't even go back and clean it up. You know what I'm saying? Y'all, what we say, y'all see, right?
Yeah.
So it is what it is at that point. But yeah, so on the way over here, I was thinking to myself, okay, wow, it is the 4th of July weekend. You know what I mean? And I know that's means a lot to a lot of people, but there's also a segment of the population, man, that the 4th of July really didn't have as much meaning to, right? And then about a year ago, 2 weeks ahead of this time, about a year ago, it became a national holiday for Juneteenth, right? So when you look at that dichotomy, right, because I know as a young man growing up, we didn't really celebrate Juneteenth on the East Coast and the Northeast. However, there was always this disconnect, right? There was always this cognitive dissonance, right, that I had to deal with when dealing with the 4th of July, right? Because you look back and you say, well, Frederick Douglass, like, what does the 4th of July or Independence Day have to do with me? Because we really weren't part of that equation, right? But now, as an adult who has served in the military, who has fought for this country, you want to be able to take pride, right? And what has taken place in the fact that the country is what it is.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? So, and again, man, I want to preface everything by saying we are black men. So we conversate from a perspective of black men. That is not racism, y'all. We had some messages this week and stuff like that, man, from some cat who's a coward who's hiding out there on social media, who calls himself military industrial complex, who was making some really ridiculous comments and stuff like that. dude, number one, you block, you know, but number two, you're a coward, because I went to your account and you had 0 followers, 0 videos, 0 anything. So you really are just, you know, somebody who's just hiding out trying to cause disruption.
Wait a minute, did we get hacked by the Russians already?
Yeah, exactly. You know, so I told you to watch out for the cancel, man. We got to watch out for everything, you know. Yeah. But anyway, that's the premise from the conversation, man. Again, you got to, you know, everybody has perspective, right? And we're not trying to take away from anybody else's. But, you know, CigarBanker, we family now, right? You won't call your family racist, right? Yeah. So let's just keep it rolling. Right. Yeah. So what do you think, man? The dichotomy between Juneteenth and Independence Day.
So it's funny you say that about the East Coast and the Juneteenth celebration, right? So me growing up here in Vegas, being born and raised, we've always had a Juneteenth celebration. Okay. So we've done stuff on the strip, we've done stuff downtown. Yeah. We've had a recognition of Juneteenth. Now, granted, it's not what it is today, of course, because now it's a national holiday. You know, we talk about the Jubilee and all that. Which is a whole different, you know, dynamic of how we celebrate the holiday. But when you talk about that in context with the 4th of July, it's like, okay, I felt like I celebrated my freedom and my Jubilee already. So when the 4th of July comes around, but then I have that dichotomy, like you said, of, okay, I got family members that's still serving in the military. My mom, my dad have served in the military. Yeah. So it's hard to have that context, right, of, okay, do we really celebrate our freedom of Independence Day? It wasn't independence for us, but it was independence for our country. But I have to, you know, I kind of played devil's advocate. I was like, that didn't happen. We didn't have that advent of us having that Independence Day. What would our country have been? We'd still be ruled by England. Right. And who knows what we'd be in right now, right? Exactly. You know, if that didn't happen. But at the same time, you know, was it really independence for us? No. Yeah. And I think we all kind of understand that at this point. And the other point I got to add, because I got to throw my mother-in-law into this. My mother-in-law is an immigrant, right? Yeah. So, you know, immigrated here from Trinidad. Yeah. Came in when she was 12 years old. You know, went through that process of becoming a citizen and whatnot. So it's like, okay, I got that other dynamic to think about as well. My wife is a second-generation American versus me, where, you know, I come from slavery. You know, my roots are traced back to Indians and slaves. Right. So it's like, okay, we got a whole dynamic going on within even my own household that's a little different. That I think it's really the makeup of the country, right? Exactly. And then we talk about from the black people's perspective, from us being black men and having to think about Independence Day. It wasn't Independence Day for us. I don't recognize it as Independence Day. Right. I don't get excited about the 4th of July. Okay. I treat it almost like they treat Martin Luther King Day. Yeah. Oh, we got a holiday coming up? Yeah. You know what I mean? You go to work, you be like, damn, we got Monday off. Why we got Monday off? Exactly. Because that's how it almost is for me, because it wasn't the same for them.
So. I agree, man. So, first of all, when last year when President Biden made Juneteenth a national holiday, you know, I was looking at it like, you know, I was suspect. You know what I'm saying? Because I'm sitting there like, okay, it felt like an appeasement. You know what I mean? Here we are asking for the George Floyd Justice and Policing Act, right? Here we are asking for voting rights reform. And it's like, well, let's give them a holiday, man, so they can have a barbecue and, you know, this, that, and the other thing. Which, again, I ain't mad at the barbecue. Yeah. I ain't mad at the day off, right? But it just felt like it was an appeasement, right? But now that I think back, man, and you know, now that I've had time to really, you know, to really meditate on all of this, I think you have to have both, right? And the reason why I say that is, you know, it's just like, you know how Jesus had to touch the blind man's eyes twice for him to be fully healed? Yeah. You got to have 2 holidays that talk about independence, that talk about equality, that talk about that, because it's necessary. Independence Day, 4th of July, was about political freedom, right? Freedom from Great Britain, like you said, right? Freedom from England. Juneteenth celebrates individual freedom, right? The freedom of the African Americans being, you know, free from the bonds of slavery. Now, you know, without a doubt, we're still fighting for that true freedom and that true equality. But it's a start. So I think back again as a military person, you know, and this is kind of why this was resonating with me today. Because I'm thinking back today, I'm thinking, wow, when you think about the history, right, that we put into this country is just as much ours as anyone else's. So why shouldn't we celebrate? Oh, okay. Yeah. When you look at, go back to Christopher Columbus and the 3 ships that came over, right? Nina, the Pinta, the Santa Maria. We learned that in what, 2nd grade or something? But what they didn't tell you was that the captain of the Santa Maria was a black man. That's what they didn't tell you. right? Okay, why they leave that out? What they didn't, so when he came over here, right, at that point, at the birth of a new nation, was he thinking that people who look like him would be second-class citizens, that people who, his descendants or what have you would not have the same freedom and equality as the other captains of the other ships?
Yeah.
When Crispus Attucks was the first one to die in the Revolutionary War, was he not thinking that he was fighting for those same freedoms and those same equalities for his descendants down the road? You know what I'm saying? And then it goes on and it goes on, man. You get into the Civil War, right? And we talk about all the men who fought, in the 54th Cavalry or the 54th out of Massachusetts, right? You get to World War I, and this story that really hasn't even been told, right, is the Harlem Hellfighters from the National Guard 15th, right? The United States didn't even want them to fight, right? They sent them all the way over to France, man, to be stevedores and carry groceries and all of that type of stuff. But the French command was like, no, we can use these guys. And they put them in the fight. You know what I'm saying? And they turned the fight around. They turned that whole war around over there. Okay. Right? They were heroes. Right? Heroes. Getting all kinds of medals and stuff from France and came back home and people hung them. Killed them off and hung them. Right? They thought they were fighting for a better tomorrow for their families. You know what I'm saying? All right, let's go to World War II. We all know about the Tuskegee Airmen. Right. You know what I'm saying? And everything that they did. We don't always talk about the Buffalo Soldiers during the expansion out west, right, and all the protection. But all of these people were doing things, right, because they believed that they was creating a better America for their families in the future. Right. Dory Miller, you know what I'm saying? Navy man, Pearl Harbor, man. He shot down, single-handedly shot down like 4 Japanese, fighters during the attack. Wasn't even trained on that, bro. He wasn't trained on the 50 cal. He was a cook. Not only did they give him the Navy Cross, they named the ship after him, the USS Miller. You know what I'm saying? So there's vast history of our people sharing in this thing since the Declaration of Independence was signed, but not really being able to share in the fullness of, citizenship, bro. What have you. Now you look back at January 6th of last year and what took place, and that threatened that political freedom, right? And if you don't have the political freedom, you can't have the individual freedom. Absolutely. So again, that laid the foundation for what we're still trying to get to, right? We haven't obtained it fully yet, but there's, that's how I say, okay, that was good, right? I'm not going to deny Independence Day, even though you wasn't thinking about me, you know what I'm saying? But that affords us at least the opportunity to keep fighting for the equality that we see.
Right, and that's definitely the context that I was. You hit the nail on the head, made the point much clearer. But definitely, that's what I was saying. They provide the construct for us to be able to do, like you said. But at the same time, when you say, okay, the captain of the Santa Maria was black, and then he came over here, did he expect what was going to happen? Right? You say second class citizens. We wasn't even second class citizens. We was property. True. So it's like, okay, we went from property to second-class citizens to try to get a little bit of attainment of some kind of freedom and attainment of goals and ownership of things, and we still haven't gotten there because things still aren't fully accessible to us. They still are not, and we wouldn't be fighting for equality if they were. We wouldn't have these same conversations about police brutality and about access to capital, access to housing. If things were still equal, they are not equal. There was a comment, I put it in context for even further, right? It was my wife sent me this text from somebody sent her, right? They were telling her, okay, you want to buy a home, why don't you go to your uncle or your aunt, your grandma, because usually the people that come to us get an inheritance or get their down payment from their family. Can't you get 60 grand from your grandma or your mom? And we sitting there like, what the? Wow. Come on now. My mama couldn't get money to buy a home. Where am I going to get money to buy a home if I don't do it for myself? And at the same time, that shows us we got to stop breaking. We got to start breaking those generational curses. Absolutely. But that starts with us knowing our history. What you just laid out, bro, people don't know that. People don't know that.
But we should know. And that's another reason why they are attacking the education system, right? With that whole critical race theory that we was killing ourselves trying to remember that term last week. I was like, they don't want you to know the true history, bro. But at the end of the day, man, I really feel like that, there's a lot that is at stake today. Again, I'm going to refer back to January 6th, right? I'm going to refer back to what just occurred last week in the Supreme Court, and America has never ever truly lived out the potential of its creed. You know what I'm saying? All men created equal in the sight of God. It has never gotten there, but the potential is still there. But now we have, you know, a contingency of people, man, a force of people in this country who are trying to roll this thing back, right, and take away even the gains that we've made to this date. And it's not just us, man. You know, there's a poem, man. When I was young, you know, I used to really get into poetry, and one of the first poets that I got into was Langston Hughes, man.
Oh, of course,
1920s up to the 60s, you know, Harlem Renaissance. But he has this poem, and I challenge everybody to go out there during this Independence weekend or whatever, and I challenge y'all to Google this, man, and to read it for yourself, because it's called, I think it's When America Becomes America Again, or something like that. America Be America Again, or something like that, man, is the title. But it wouldn't be hard to find. But at the end of the day, what he's saying is, you know, it's not just us, bro. You know, it was the immigrants, it was the poor whites, it was the, you know, the Indians, it was, you know, and all of this stuff, who everybody is saying, you know, that America is all this, but then in the background he's questioning, well, who? Not me. It don't apply to me. But at the end of that poem, he is saying, but we got to all come together to make it be that. You know what I'm saying? So at the end of the day, man, there's so much that's out there. You know, we got to be careful. You know, rolling back Voters' Rights Act, right? Rolling back, you know, some of the gains that we made in civil rights. All of this is in play right now. You know what I'm saying? And we don't want to be like Nero and be fiddling while Rome is burning, right? We got to be very, very consciously aware of what's going on around us.
Yeah, very much so. Because like you said, like we did it last week, but I'm telling you, man, when they said without exception, that set the precedence to do everything without exception.
Exactly. Everything
without exception. Clarence Thomas showed us who he is.
Exactly.
He showed what he's about, being on the Supreme Court. Oh, we got to celebrate Ketanji, though. Ketanji Brown.
Yeah, absolutely.
Oh, man, that first black woman elected to the Supreme Court in our history.
Yes.
Ketanji Brown, man, congratulations. Big ups, man. That's a huge accomplishment. And now she's officially sworn in, so now she has a vote.
Exactly.
You know, so now we have, okay, hopefully we got another ally, right?
Right.
Because we as a people are saying we are pissed. Okay, once again, we're pissed. What's going to happen? We said that when the Black Lives Matter popped off, right? Yeah. Almost 10 years ago now. When they popped off and said, we are pissed. Exactly. They was marching on the freeway. They was shutting down chicken spots. Like, they was pissed. We was pissed, right? We need them. We need our young people. Stop putting them down. Stop discouraging them. Stop telling them they're not ready to do things. Stop telling them they don't have enough knowledge. Because everything you're saying is true. They may not be ready. They may not have the knowledge. But you know what they got? They got passion. They got a context of the world that we can't deny. We were all there at one point, right? We were all 19, 20 at some point. And we was ambitious. We saw the world wide open. We didn't know nothing about somebody calling us the N-word. We didn't know nothing about, you know, injustice, not being able to get an abortion, things like that. So the freedoms they grew up with gives them a context where when stuff gets cut off and they're not allowed to do something, they get pissed. Let them be pissed. Let's use that energy. Let's give them the wisdom to show them how to get into the fight the right way from a political construct, because that's what we got to fight the fight. Because it starts at the local, the federal, the state level. We got to fight from every level, but let them use their energy and their power. That's what I would say on Independence Day, on 4th of July. Let's lift up these young people.
That's a call to action.
Let's lift them up. And if I can do anything, but that's what I'll do, because somebody did it for me. I'm sitting here at 35 years old having a conversation with you that I'm not supposed to be having. I'm the walking, talking statistic. And today here we are, smoking cigars, having good libations, and having a great conversation. And the conversation we would have whether we was on camera or not.
Exactly. This is what we do, bro. You know, it's cool, man, to be able to open it up and share these conversations with the rest of the world, man. And hopefully it's appreciated as well. You know, so, but you're right, man. You know what, when we were young, we had a sense of, you know, we couldn't be stopped, right? We were invincible. You know, invincibility is the word I'm looking for. We had a sense of invincibility, man. When you get older and you have a family, you tend to be a little bit more cautious. But the young people, man, are the ones who make things happen.
Yes.
You know what I'm saying? Nat Turner was a young man. You know what I'm saying? Martin Luther King started off as a young man. You know what I'm saying? The whole nine. P. Newton, Malcolm X, the whole nine, bro. It's the young people that get out here and revolutionize, you know, and make changes for the next generation. So we're looking for those people. We're looking for these young people today. You know, and they're out there. You know, they're out there, bro. There's a few of them that, you know, I'm not going to name off the bat, but there's a couple of guys out there that I follow now who are really out here in the fight, man, trying to wake people up. You know what I'm saying? So again, that's really what it comes down to. We don't need to belabor because we've said a lot. At the end of the day, we've said a lot already this morning, man. But I just want to encourage everybody, man. Hey, have a wonderful, you know, 4th of July celebration with your family. You know what I'm saying? Fire up the grill, man. Yo, I'm about to throw some beef ribs on that bad boy. I'm prepping up right now, man. You know, it's going to be all. You know what I'm saying? So some tri-tips and all of that. So have a good time with your family, with your people. But let's not get so caught up in the celebration that we lose sight of the struggle, right? That we keep our eyes on the prize, man, and we understand that there are people who are out here working overtime, right, to take away not only your political freedom, because if they can get your political freedom, man, and that's what just took place, understand that, right? That's what January 6th was about. That's what this last Supreme Court decision was about, taking away your political freedoms. And once they get your political freedoms, your personal freedom, your individual freedom is not far behind. Right. Follow that. Real talk. You know what I mean? Bring us home, Jay.
Man, you know what it is. It's been a good episode. Man, appreciate y'all joining us again on the live. What up? I just sent the comment out. Make sure to comment. You know, we out here live for real. We looking at the comments. We looking at who's jumping on, man. We appreciate y'all doing that. Keep showing us the love on Instagram. Make sure to take that over to YouTube. Like we said, man, that's the warehouse. That's the library. That's where everything at. We got episodes from 3-4 years back. We've been doing this thing for a minute, so we not new to this. We've been true to this. Keep hitting us up, man. And like I said, we got the podcast popping.
Yes.
Make sure we posting the links everywhere for the podcast. Yeah. Different cigar groups on Instagram, social media. Yeah. So you can catch the podcast in your car, at the gym, listen to Puff a Minute, man. Cigar Mix, CigarBanker, we doing our thing, man. We appreciate y'all.
Yeah, real quick, as far as the audio podcast, so we post that up on Anchor FM. But whatever your preference, man. If you like Spotify, if you like Apple Podcasts, if you like Google Podcasts, you can find us on all those platforms as well, right? So make sure you go out there and you look for us, like you said, listen in your car. You know what? We would be remiss, right, if we didn't tell y'all where we at right now. You know what I'm saying? So shout out to Melvin and Michelle Runless for allowing us to come in here and be able to shoot our podcast right here in Las Vegas's own Tappin' Ass Cigar Lounge, okay? Tappin' Ass Cigar Social Lounge, right?
Social Club.
Social Club is the full name. You know, so this is the spot, man. If you haven't been here yet, make sure that you come on down. You know, let them know that you know, you saw us, you know, bigging them up on the Puff a Minute or what have you. This is where you'll find me and CigarBanker hanging out 9 times out of 10. You know, so this is where we hang out at. But again, beautiful establishment, man. Wonderfully done. Nothing but class and style, man. You know what I'm saying? Throughout the week, whatever your you know, your style is, man. You want to come in and kick back, you know what I'm saying? Listen to some jazz or whatever, smoke a cigar, have a nice drink. This is your place right here. All right, so shout out to them for that. Other than that, man, I think we're ready to shut it down. I don't think there's anything else left to say.
Nah, man, we good.
One more thing. I said nothing else. One more thing. Hey, we appreciate y'all on the live. We appreciate everybody who follows us on Instagram. We're going to ask y'all, I'm going to make a plea to y'all, please take that love over to YouTube, all right? We definitely need your subscribership. We need you to like. We need you to share. You know what I'm saying? We need you to do all of those things, man, on the YouTube channel as well, right? So help us get this word out. Other than that, man, I'm your boy, Cigar Mick.
CigarBanker.
Peace, y'all. Have a wonderful holiday weekend. We'll talk to y'all soon. We out.
Peace.